PUBG is a game of survival. 100 players are dropped from a plane out onto an island and forced to forage for loot, supplies, and weaponry in order to become the last man or team standing. Though it is not perfect, it can provide an abundance of fun for quite a long time. In spite of this, however, PUBG is rife with glitches and inconsistencies. This reason, among many others, hinder its potential to become an esport. PUBG is not, and will never be, ready to become an esport. While PUBG is quite an entertaining experience that can offer hours upon hours of fun, it is far from esports ready for many reasons. One of the major reasons it is not esports ready is because of the overall instability of the game. Time after time, players have reached for weapons only to have them remain on the ground, had a parachute caught on nothing but thin air, or had the game just plain crash on them. These are just a few of the instabilities present in the game, and many have encountered a plethora of other issues plaguing their experience. Other issues include a glitch causing player models to load incorrectly, causing your character to be floating around in a sitting position, invisible objects blocking doorways, and occasionally wonky vehicle physics. Although not ideal, these issues would be forgivable for a game only striving to reach a casual audience. This is not the case, however, when trying to cater to a hardcore audience, such as the esports community. Though glitches and inconsistencies are large obstacles in the way of PUBG's road to esports preparedness, it is far from the only thing. As a whole, PUBG is far too random and features too many random mechanics to become an esport. The plane's flight path, circle placement, and weapon drops are all random elements that can lead to some players having advantages regardless of skill. Skill is very helpful to have when playing PUBG and can give a higher likelihood of survival throughout the game, but it has nowhere near the effect it should to become an esports title. One unlucky encounter will put you out of the game, even if it was just a lucky shot from a far less skilled player. In esports titles like CSGO, one unlucky death won't cause an automatic loss of the entire game. If you die in CSGO, you'll have a chance to prove your dominance over the other players in the other rounds. The winning team in a game of CSGO is decided by a minimum of 16 separate encounters throughout the game, providing a good basis for deciding the skill level of one team over another. In PUBG, it is just based on one encounter, and a single team or player is very unlikely to be pitted against many of the other teams or players present in the game. Deciding the most skilled player or team based on one match of PUBG is like flipping a coin once, having it land on heads, and deciding that when a coin is flipped, it is 100% likely to land on heads. Now, I know that there were factors other than victory taken into account at the first esports-style test run of PUBG at the PUBG Invitational in 2017, but I don't believe factors other than victory should be taken into account. PUBG is about survival, not how many kills you end up with. These are still not all the reasons PUBG is far from esports ready, however. In fact, there is one more large one that I would like to discuss before the end of this video. The final reason why PUBG is not fit to become an esport is because it wouldn't be fun to watch. The fact of the matter is, there would be just too many players to watch at once for viewing to be an interesting and engaging experience. Too many teams to root for, and too many different teams for the commentators to follow at once. Viewers would either have very little time following a certain team or player, or never see certain teams or players at all. It wouldn't be an interesting experience to view until the amount of players alive got down to about 10 or 20, or the circle got small enough. Overall, it would not be an enticing experience to view. Overall, PUBG is a very enjoyable game, and I'm not trying to bash it. It's brought me hours and upon hours of enjoyment. It is a fun and interesting title that has the potential to become so much better. No matter what is fixed, however, PUBG will never be ready to become an esport. It's not that PUBG is a bad game, it's just not suited for competitive play.